Yeah. Okay. So now if I get hold of this CBS volume, it may be by chance, right? It may be by chance or this one. Will I not be able to use various technologies to read the data, what is deleted? So when you delete the data, it is not deleted actually, right? There are more other, until you overwrite it with something else that segments, the data still can be fetched.
Yeah, maybe Salimba, it's worth covering like how formatting is done. Maybe like, for the interest of the audience, I guess.
Sorry, repeat.
Maybe I think Salimba, it's worth discussing how formatting is done for the interest of the audience, unless
Okay.
everyone is aware. So.
Yeah, Abdullah gives
So,
you details as well, a little bit if you see on my slide. So
so
Abdullah,
Salim bhai,
actually, Abdullah Idris, are you getting it?
Yeah, I'm here.
So when you see what happens here is on your laptop, if you delete the data, okay, and you have removed it from the recycle bin, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
and you throw off your hard drive or throw your laptop. I get hold of that laptop, I take out that hard drive from your system, and I can still retrieve some of the data that is already deleted actually from the hard drive. Okay, so data is nothing but whatever information, it is stored in small registers, which is in the format of zeros and one. Okay, so what you did was when you deleted the data, it deleted one from there actually, and it can be null. It is not zero there, it is null. Okay, so there are means, there are hacking technologies, methods by which I can retrieve that data. I have done it myself, to be honest. Okay, I have from a completely formatted disk actually, I have taken out not formatted disk actually, from a deleted disk actually, I have retrieved the data back. That was a very
Yes.
long time back during my college, after a little bit after my college days actually. You have
So
done that, Anwar?
Yeah, yeah. Back in the days, like when memory cards and pen drives were not that reliable, like they used to get corrupted pretty often.
Hmm.
Right now, I think they are better. But
So you can do that. The one way to prevent that kind of thing happen is, that is the reason they take the hard drives and they crush it, they break it up. Okay.
okay, so there are so you have two things, right? You can either delete, meaning you put it in the bin. That's one, and then the other one is delete completely, and the computer says it's completely deleted, right? You're
No.
talking about the both scenarios.
Yes, both scenarios. You even when you delete it to the bin,
Mm-hmm.
your data may still be there in the hard drive at the
Right,
at the physical layer actually. Even
right.
when you delete it from your bin also, recycle bin also, or trash, even then the data may be still there.
Okay.
Okay, now two ways companies or anyone who want to prevent this data theft this way is, and that's the reason many people sell their laptops without their hard drives. They don't want to give you the hard drives. They take it, they burn it, they trash it, they scrap it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is one way. The other way is you overwrite all the registries within that hard drive or the memory device with zeros.
How do you do that?
Okay, there are ways to do that actually.
Yeah.
Okay, you
So
write with
basically,
zeros. See, the data is available to you until something overwrites it. Like for example, you write something on a piece of paper, okay, white paper, you erase it. But if you hold it in the sunlight, you can still see it,
Yeah.
right? But you overwrite something on it, you will not be able to see it. Simple example.
so if I understand right, what the computer is really doing is, so as soon as you delete something, it's put that as a free thing. He puts it in a way. So if you start doing some other work, then he starts putting on top of that.
Yes. No, see, it does not put on top of the same thing. So paper is full, paper is white. So it may write somewhere else. It may not overwrite the same place.
Right.
So that way you write in one corner and you write the other segment in other corner and you delete on the left corner. The data on the left corner is still visible to you.
Mm-hmm.
So what a software does, another way of cleaning up is you clean the entire white paper with 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. That way, even if you hold up the paper, you will not be able to read it or it will not be visible to you, whatever the data was behind earlier.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, on a simple lane. So that's exactly what Amazon does. So customer instance have no access to the raw disk device, but instance are presented with virtual disk. So the customers do not, first of all, they don't have access to the raw disk. Okay, the proprietary virtualization layer automatically resets every block of storage. You remember we discussed about block, right? Used by the customer. So it resets, it changes from 1 to 0.
Interesting.
Every block of storage used by, so that one customer's data is never unintentionally exposed to the other. So this is exactly what it means.
Okay, so what if you come back? Like if the same customer come back and attach the same EC2?
It doesn't matter. It's still blank.
I mean, how is he gonna get back all the work he did, right?
So this is when you release your disk.
Completely release, okay.
When you release your disk, when you don't want your disk, when you release it to somebody else to be used.
Okay.
So when you clean it, you give it to somebody, you say it is not there.
Abdullah, I'm not able to hear you.
Yeah, you're breaking actually.
Yeah. Sorry, I guess my audio is not good. I was telling brother Idris that it's like deleting the disk completely. When you give it to somebody, it's erasing it. It's not there anymore. The data that you want to protect.
Okay, so by chance or by intention, any which way, the customer's data that was already there in the disk is not exposed. So you really cannot see that data because every block is reset automatically.
Okay, so brother, so if you create a CTU, do you automatically get a disk?
Yeah, you get a disk.
Okay, now you have a EC2, you have a disk, and then as long as that EC2 is there, you can stop it and then restart it, stop it, restart it. But as soon as you actually delete it like completely, then that's when the disk is released, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so EBS volumes are presented to you as raw unformatted block devices, and formatting happens when you allocate the disk to you. Again, it is after it is reset and kept it clean for you. Formatting again cleans it up further actually.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the second level of formatting when you get allocated. What kind of file system you want. So a lot of other things play there actually, formatting. And even the memory allocated, memory also may contain data because again, we are aware that memory is also shared. It is a virtual memory that you are getting, right? So even the memory, when it is given to you, it is scrubbed, set to 0 by the hypervisor when it is allocated to a guest.
Nice.
Okay. So this is a very it is 10,000 feet below the sea. It is 10,000 feet below the sea. Nobody is going to ask you these questions, but I thought I'll take an opportunity to give you an insight, a deep dive into this one.
No, this is great.
This is very underlying. You will not get any video on YouTube on this one actually. No, I don't think anybody has covered this one in the YouTube. It was out of my curiosity. I researched and I got all these things actually.
So Salim bhai, can't we have a policy or something whenever the instance is killed? Just delete the data, everything from
We do that.
software.
We do that. We do that at our level actually. But this
Okay,
is a kind of a hardware level, the way the hardwares are created, right?
I see. Okay.
Right. That is how this one actually.
So
Uh,
basically, let's say if a company have 10 instances of their machines, and then they occupy a whole disk or something, and then once they kill it, the AWS guys have to destroy it, or like they reuse it?
no,
Like,
they don't destroy it. They'll not destroy the hardware, right? It's a lot
uh-huh,
of money for them.
because
So,
you're
see,
not
for
using
example,
that anymore.
for example, you are given a free instance, right? 30 GB
Uh-huh.
of hard drive,
Right.
right? And you create 10 instances per day, delete them, recreate them. So every
Hmm.
time if they want to trash the hard drive associated with it, it's a huge amount of money and when they're giving to you free of cost.
So how do they do that? What's the process? Do they reformat it once the
It's
instances are
exactly
killed, or
what they
like?
do. What they do is their virtualization system, right?
Uh-huh.
As soon as you releases it, actually before giving it to somebody else, it will reset every block of storage. So
Oh, I see.
so every data is stored in zeros and one as these waves. So
Okay.
if you see here, I'll give you a little bit more detail, more deep dive. So data is stored in form of zeros and one. Okay. Now zero is anything, it's a kind of a wave.
0 is off. Is it like 1 is on? Like
Yeah,
tra-
it is
is-
completely electronics, right? So this is zero, this is one. Or if you take the another wave like sine wave, like this, right? Right? Or you take right. So anything that's going down is zero. Anything that goes up is one.
yeah, and A is like 65, and 65 is binary representation, like maybe.
So this is how the data is presented. Everything. So if you want to deep dive, either is Abdullah other. So when you type A on the keyboard, right? So this machine does not understand A. So it gets converted to bits and bytes. This is called as a ASCII bytes, ASCII. So if you research how A gets converted into zeros and one and saves onto your hard drive, A does not get saved here. Machine does not understand A. It gets saved as a ASCII value here actually. I'm trying to recall my very, very old days. There are kind of it is bits, then a group of bits becomes bytes, which might be 8 byte, right? 16 bits, 8 bits, 16 bit, 32 bit, 64 bit. This is how you get. So a group of 8 bits is 8 bit, a group of 16 bit is 16 bits, 32 bit, 64 bit, right?
Right.
So this is a group of bits. Now this group of multiple bits become bytes, kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, terabytes, and petabytes. This is how the data is stored. This is how bits and bytes are. Now, whenever the disk is allocated, everything becomes zero. Like this, completely zero. There is no data at all here. This everything is deleted. All these things is deleted. Everything is zero. It is scrubbed both at the hard drive level as well as at the
Yeah.
memory level.
Okay.
Got it?
Yep.
Okay. So if you further go here, actually, the guest operating does not have access to writes to instance or the guest OS. Now that is, So this is customer one. This is exactly what I showed here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have a hypervisor. Then you have virtual interface. Then there are security groups here actually at the virtual security, virtual instant interface level. So this is what we discussed few things here. Now this security groups, you don't have control. The security group, what you have control is the security groups to access this one. These security groups are different security groups.
Got it.
Salim bhai, you are frozen, I think. I can't hear you.
No. He
No,
was
I'm
not.
just showing actually.
Oh, okay. I
So
thought
who can
your
communicate
screen.
here? Who can communicate here? Sorry, I'm trying to correct actually. Sorry. So there are security groups here.
So are we saying what are these orange arrows?
Sorry.
What are these arrows? What does arrows represent?
Like customer one, what and all he can access via the firewall, whether he can access the what physical interfaces he can access. These are defined using the security group. Like this customer two cannot access a data or EBS volume of somebody else and using this security group. He cannot access that. This control who is accessing the physical interface. So let's not get so deep actually. I don't want to confuse you guys more on this one actually. Okay.
I think it was good, Salim. I think it clears off any security questions related to hardware and
Yeah,
whatnot.
this is
I think
very good if you guys, I mean to say, I don't think many people know this I mean to say, when we, in a normal working area actually, because nobody would deep dive so much. But if you are giving yourself this kind of a representation during interviews, that would be really, it would steal off, they'll steal you.
yeah, I think this puts most security related questions to rest. Maybe we can move on to the next.
Okay, now
Yes.
let's discuss about different instance types. Again, based on your need, instance types are divided into different families and they keep upgrading and updating every now and then. Okay. So this is a very dynamic kind of a slide actually. My slide is little old. They would have come up with new instance types. But on a broader scale, so instances are defined based on what you need the server for. Like a general purpose server will work for anything and everything actually. It provides a balance of compute and memory and networking resources. And average, ये भी काम कर लेता वो भी काम कर लेता है, right? So in a cricket, like I'm a bowler and a batsman, all rounder, right? So these are more of all rounders actually. Now these are specialized. Like I'm only in a football. I'm only a left forward. I can play only left forward. I cannot play right forward, right? Or I'm only a first batsman. I can only bat. So that kind of specialized resources actually. So these are a separate family which are high performance for web server, scientific modeling, batch processing. So these are called compute optimized because the compute CPU level is very high. Okay, gaming servers and all, they form the compute optimized. Then you have the memory optimized where you need to store memory a lot actually. Dynamically data is required. So statistics, satellite communications, all those things, right? They need a lot of data to be temporarily stored. You can use instant store, but memory has to be very large. You can go large up to 256 gigabytes of memory, right? Large, more than that actually. Sorry, not 256. Yeah, कितना बहुत बड़ा तक जाता actually. It goes to a very large actually. So very high-end memory optimized. This is another instance type. These are families. Okay, these are families. These are again types of family. Uh, uh, these are families. Correction. These are families, and under these families there are instant types. So A1 type, T3, T2. Again in T2 there are multiple subtypes. Okay, let me show you that.
So
Salim bhai, a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can we have our own custom?
like I want 8 cores, like 50 GB RAM, and
No.
like,
No?
As I understand, I have not come across. Maybe there may be an option. It's a very good question for me to research, but
Yeah, if you want to have a combination of compute optimized as well as memory optimized, my
the
own
thing is,
custom
the thing
values.
is, Amazon gives you so many options. You really don't feel like going for a
yeah, so
customization.
I think Salim bhai, that would be a little difficult to implement because they have this machines ready, right? Only then you can get it in like seconds. Otherwise, if you want that customization, they might have to configure that and install the OS on top of
Maybe
it.
with the hardware.
It
Yeah.
take hours. So
So if you see here, these are the instance type. You have a general purpose family. Under that, you have different instance type: A1, T4, T3, T2. For example, when you spin up your server, right, you get a T2 instance type. So if I go back to here, actually in T2, right, again in T2, you have various with one CPU, 3.5 GB RAM, 4 GB, 4 CPU with 16 GB RAM. So T2, 2x large. These are again subtypes actually, different subtypes of this one. So huge amount of combinations. So if you go to compute optimized, where it is high CPUs, you get, see here, you get 64, you get up to 64 and 128 GB RAM, right? So if you go more memory optimized, right? So again in C, you have C4. C4s are the latest ones actually here. So if you go to C4, you have 36 CPUs, 36 CPUs and 60 GB RAM. That's a lot.
yeah. So we are saying they already have so many options that your custom requirement could match
Again, if
some
you
of the.
go to, you want more memory, yeah, yellow. Yeah, you have more memory, you want Z, up to Z also. See, 48 CPUs with 384 GB RAM.
Nice.
And pick and choose what you want. So many varieties. You go nuts.
Yeah.
This is a big question for many architects. What to choose, man? There's so many. See, a 96 and star means it. They are okay.
So Salim bhai, even on top of it, if let's say if I want custom,
I don't think we have that.
Uh,
is that yeah, there is nothing over here which
when
says
you get
custom.
married, Khadir, when you get married, you will see how you will compromise. Before
Okay.
marriage, everybody wants customization. Little this one, little that one, this one, that one. After
Whatever
marriage,
is there,
oh,
I'll
I
take it.
compromised on this one, I compromised on that one. Okay.
No compromise, the first rule.
A little bit of Kareena Kapoor, a little bit of Aishwarya Rai.
Yeah. Little bit of Kajal, little bit of Madhuri.
Right. Then you finally end up with Tuntun.
Vipasha.
Okay, Idris, Abdullah, these are some of the Indian kind of talks. Actually, you may not be able to get it.
It's fine.
See this CPU actually, it has
I
9
understand.
CPUs, 1,152 GB of RAM. I don't know how expensive this is, but you can. So nobody can remember all these things. You need to remember in the exam actually. So they will ask you these general purpose, compute optimized, what is the difference, why it is required, what is memory optimized, and what is accelerated computing, storage optimized. These differences you need to know. These differences you need to know.
Okay.
And if you Google search this is a very important page. You may want to read it. Very
So,
important page.
Salim bhai, let's say if I'm doing some simulation or something with the one type of EC2, and let's say in the middle, I want to change it or upgrade in the middle of the simulation. Can I extend it or change it on the fly?
That is why this cloud has become the norm of today. So if you were in the on-premise, you need to raise a request, your manager has to approve, and it will take the hardware team to buy that additional resource, right? It will take 2-3 months before, and by that time you may have lost completely with the track where you were working on.
Right.
Here, you can do within 5 minutes.
So we don't have to restart the simulation, right? If we are in the middle of it, we can hit it.
No, earlier that was the case actually. Earlier what used to happen was, see, if I am in T2, right? I started with T2 small. Example, I'm giving you 1 CPU and 12. Suddenly, there is a huge spike and a lot of people coming into my server, and my server threshold is blasting, right? It is hanging actually. It's beyond 100% CPU usage. I want to upgrade. I want my customers to be rendered. If it is within the same family, same type, right? I could just upgrade it to 2 without a restart. I don't
Okay.
need to restart it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But however, now most of the now this adds to a little bit of challenge actually. But in many scenarios, what they do is they do restart it actually. Predominantly, we take that as a production chain and we do restart. But if it is the same type, same family, you don't need to restart.
So if I have to do another type of EC2, let's say memory optimized.
If we are moving from T2, it allows you to move from T2 to R, right? Or C, right? If you're moving from a different family, then you also can do that. But again, you definitely need to restart.
So my simulation or whatever thing I'm running should be cancelled out and then it should be restarted again.
Yes.
Can you not just use auto scaling?
No, auto scaling, again, you define what kind. In the auto scaling, you already predefined a launch template, like what is you launching. You already defined it. Auto scaling is attaching another server. You are not extending it. You are attaching another server to your existing cluster. Khadir, we have not discussed auto scaling. We'll discuss that actually.
Okay.
Okay, so here you can just expand. Like, for example, it's like a balloon. You blow air, see, it is big enough. Oh, you can still blow air. You can still this one. Now your kids cry, you get another balloon. That is auto scaling.
What if it bursts?
So you buy a bigger balloon then.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay. So that is why it is called as elastic. That is how the name is given to you. Elastic. It can extend.
It doesn't work.
Elastic cloud compute.
Yeah, makes sense.
Got it? Okay, running out of
Completely.
time. I think it's enough for today. We had almost 2 hours of session. So, any questions today?
Salim, it was good.
Was it helpful?
Yeah.
Abdullah?
Yes, as always.
Don't sleep, buddy. You have questions you can ask.
Jazakallah. Bye, Salim bhai.
Sorry, I joined at 8. Was it a 2-hour session? I don't know.
अरे नहीं सलीम भाई इसी मजाक कर रहे शायद.
It's rounding up.
I thought it started itself.
Rounding up.
Yeah. I mean,
नहीं
I
वैसे
wish.
नहीं कल कंटिन्यू करेंगे कल.
Yeah, we can.
See,
Yeah,
this
we
is
can
a very
continue
important
tomorrow.
session. The more people take advantage of it, it's better actually, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody will explain to you about the ring technology.
Uh-huh.
You search in YouTube. If you find anything, please forward it to me. But I don't think there is any.
Okay.
Yeah. Inshallah.
Okay, inshallah.
Jazakallah khairan, Salim bhai.
Yeah, the last part was killer. Elastic. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks everyone. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah Salim bhai. See you.
Alaikum assalam.
Thank you very much.
Tomorrow at the same time, right?
Inshallah, let's catch up tomorrow.
Inshallah.
Check with other guys whether they really want to join or we can
Okay.
change the way.
Sharif said he has a office. Tomorrow he'll be available. I think Shamim is a bit busy with
Yeah.
with his thing.
Abdullah, you
So-
also check with other guys, Murad and other people if they really want to join. And
Sure.
okay.
So I'll let them know.
Yeah.
Jazakallah.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum Salim bhai. See you.
Thank you very much.
Jazakallah.